Have you ever sat in a room full of people and felt strangely invisible? You speak, but no one really responds. You share something personal, and it just floats past the conversation like it was never said. So eventually you stop trying. You become quieter, easier, less demanding. And somewhere along the way, you learn how to take up less space. But here's the strange part. You're not shy in your own head. In your mind, you are observant, thoughtful, even intense. You notice tone shifts. You remember small details about people. You sense when someone's mood changes before they say a word. Yet when it comes to your own needs, you hesitate. You second guess, you shrink. If that feels familiar, you may be living with the adult mind of the ignored child. And tonight, we're exploring what that wiring looks like, where it comes from, and why the traits you might call flaws are actually evidence of extraordinary adaptation. When a child is consistently overlooked, not abused, not necessarily yelled at, just emotionally bypassed, something subtle begins to form. Psychologists call it emotional neglect, and here's what makes it so hard to identify. It's not about what happened, it's about what didn't happen, the comfort that didn't come, the questions that weren't asked, the feelings that weren't mirrored back, and here's what's important, the child adapts. Your brain, especially in early childhood, is wired for connection. Attachment theory tells us that children build their understanding of themselves through how caregivers respond to them. When a parent consistently notices and responds, the child's nervous system learns, I matter, my feelings make sense. But when a child's inner world is regularly ignored or minimized, the brain doesn't conclude, they're busy. It concludes, I must not be important enough. That belief doesn't form as a sentence, it forms as wiring. So you learn to become low maintenance. You became the easy one. You handled things yourself. You stopped asking for help. Maybe you even felt proud of how independent you were. And in many ways, that independence became your strength. You can survive almost anything. You don't fall apart easily. You know how to self-soothe because you had to. But survival strategies always have two sides. The same wiring that made you self-reliant can make it difficult for you to receive care now. When someone offers support, you might feel uncomfortable. When someone gets too close emotionally, you might pull back. Not because you don't want connection, but because deep down, your nervous system still expects invisibility. There's a concept in psychology called internal working models. It simply means that early relationships create a mental template for what to expect from others. If your early template was inconsistency or emotional absence, your adult relationships may carry a quiet expectation that people won't really show up. So you don't fully lean in, you don't fully trust, you prepare for disappointment before it arrives. And yet, here's the paradox. Many ignored children grow into adults who are exceptionally attuned to others. When you grow up scanning for attention that rarely comes, you become highly skilled at reading microsignals. You can tell when someone is slightly off. You notice tension in a room instantly. You often become the emotionally intelligent one. That sensitivity is not weakness, it is adaptation. But sensitivity without being seen can turn inward. You may overanalyze your own behavior. You may replay conversations in your mind, wondering if you were too much or not enough. There's research around something called the spotlight effect, which shows that humans tend to overestimate how much others notice them. For the ignored child, this plays out in a unique way. You don't assume everyone is watching you. You assume no one is, and yet you still monitor yourself constantly, just in case. Another layer of this wiring shows up in boundaries. If your needs were rarely centered growing up, you may struggle to identify them now. You might be deeply compassionate toward others, but strangely disconnected from your own preferences. Someone asks where you want to eat, and your first instinct is, I don't mind. Not because you truly don't care, but because caring once felt pointless. Over time, this can create a quiet exhaustion, not dramatic burnout, just a subtle fatigue from always adjusting, always accommodating, always reading the room before entering it. And yet, there is something profoundly dignified about the ignored child's adaptation. You learn to generate your own inner world. Many adults who felt invisible as children become deep thinkers. You may have developed imagination, creativity, or introspection because your internal space was the one place you felt fully present. Philosophically speaking, invisibility often pushes a person inward, and inward is where depth is formed. This is the paradigm shift most people miss. The traits you might label as flaws, your independence, your sensitivity, your self-sufficiency, are not evidence that something is wrong with you. They are evidence that your nervous system found a way to survive emotional scarcity. You are not distant. You were undernourished emotionally, so you learned to ration yourself. You are not overly independent. You learned that depending on others didn't reliably work. You are not detached. You are cautious with your exposure. Understanding this changes the entire story. It moves you from self-blame to self-recognition. There's also something deeper happening culturally. Many societies reward the easy child, the one who doesn't complain, the one who excels quietly, the one who doesn't disrupt the emotional climate. So your adaptation may have been praised. Teachers may have described you as mature. Relatives may have admired how little trouble you caused. But maturity that forms from emotional neglect is not the same as emotional safety. It is composure built on invisibility. As an adult, this can create confusing contradictions. You may crave deep connection but struggle to initiate it. You may want to be understood but hesitate to reveal yourself. You may feel lonely in relationships, even when nothing is overtly wrong. That loneliness isn't dramatic, it's subtle. It feels like being present but slightly unfelt. And yet, here's something equally true. The adult mind of the ignored child often carries extraordinary empathy. Because you know what it feels like to be unseen, you are careful not to overlook others. You remember birthdays, you check in. You notice when someone is quiet, you offer what you wish you had received. That is not accidental. It is your nervous system rewriting the story in real time. Psychologically, this is known as corrective emotional experience. When you give others the attunement you lacked, you are, in a quiet way, participating in your own healing. Not through force, not through grand transformation, but through presence. Still, there may be moments when you wonder why you feel slightly outside of things, why you hesitate to speak up, why praise feels uncomfortable, why you downplay your achievements. These are not character defects. They are echoes of an environment where being fully visible did not feel reinforced. And I want you to hear this clearly. Nothing about this means you are broken. Your brain did exactly what brains are designed to do. It adapted to its environment. Different environments produce different wiring. Some people grew up loud and expressive because their emotions were welcomed. Others grew up observant and self-contained because space was limited. Neither is superior. They are simply different adaptations to different emotional climates. The adult mind of the ignored child is not a damaged mind. It is a mind that learned to survive quietly. And survival, even quiet survival, is strength. If parts of this resonate with you, it doesn't mean you are doomed to repeat invisibility. It simply means you carry a certain kind of wiring that made you perceptive, thoughtful, resilient, deep. There is something profoundly human about wanting to be seen, not spotlighted, not admired, just recognized. And if you didn't receive enough of that early on, the longing can feel especially tender, but longing is not weakness. It is evidence of your capacity for connection. So if you sometimes feel like the background character in your own life, know this: you were never meant to disappear. You adapted because you were intelligent. You became quiet because you were perceptive. You became independent because you were capable. And there are many minds like yours walking around in this world, carrying depth that was formed in silence. You are not alone in that experience. There is dignity in the way you survived. There is meaning in the way you observe. And there is nothing small about the space you take up, even if you learn to minimize it. The adult mind of the ignored child is not a flaw in the system. It is a different configuration of it. And different does not mean deficient. It means you learned to live inwardly when outward attention was scarce. It means you built strength in private. It means you are wired for nuance, and that wiring has value. If no one told you that clearly before, let this be the moment you hear it. You were never invisible. You were adapting, and there are others who understand exactly what that feels like.